Great to be with you today. I am Brad with UnwiredView.com. We are going to be showing off the Inspire 4G. This is an HTC Android device that's on AT&T's 4G network, the very first of its kind actually. So that's why I'm so excited to check it out, is I want to see what the hype is and if it's worth that hype. So let's go in, we're going to check out the box, the phone, get some first impressions. You know the routine, it's an unboxing. So let's go crazy and check it out. Here we got ourselves the HTC Inspire 4G with AT&T, and you can tell it's AT&T just by the standard box that gets used pretty much every single time. It has got the standard oranges and whites, and as you can tell it's just, yep, it's all basically the same. On here you've got all the contents of the box, which I just realized is kind of silly to show you because in about 20 seconds I'm going to show you what's in the box anyways. So why point out the writing on it? Okay, nothing else to it. So let's hop in there, quick start guide, some good reading of course, the phone itself, and wall module with USB port and the USB cable, and some warranties, safety guides, and all the boring stuff that just gets thrown away. So just another standard unboxing. The box itself has all the same stuff as any other box. So nothing too special, so we're not going to waste any more time on it. The Inspire 4G, despite its name, is actually very similar to the HTC Desire HD. So just a few minor design tweaks, but overall looks pretty much the same. Now it has a 4.3-inch display with the Super LCD. Now the Super LCD is supposed to be the competitor to Super AMOLED and the QHD and some of the other really high resolution displays that are on the market or shortly coming to the market right now. So we're going to check that out and see how it compares to the other ones. Now looking at this thing, this is actually quite a stunning design, although it always looks a little weird to me just how you've got random little islands here and things. But there's a reason for that. For example, down here is where you get the SIM card and the micro SD card. And then over here is where the battery comes out. Part of the fun of the unboxing is trying to figure out how all these things work. Okay, figured it out. Got it all out, and now we've got the battery. Supposedly it just slides out a lot easier than that. But such is the way of unboxing sometimes. So that's the battery on the side there. Very interesting. So basically the way this is set up is it's got a whole entire unibody style design. It's just all one piece, and then of course you've got the bottom and the side here for easy access to all the essential stuff that you would need access to. And I actually kind of like that design. Okay, now the fun part is actually getting it back on. Okay, so I finally got the battery cover back on, but I tell you, as far as first impressions go, that was not the funnest thing to put back on. Design overall, I think it's actually a really smooth, nice design. It's definitely typical of HTC's overall look and feel, but that's one area of improvement that I would definitely recommend. Other than that, I guess it's not like I'm going to be taking the battery out all the time, but still, just a little thought. Okay, now also looking at this, certainly we have the 8 megapixel camera with the dual LED flash. Very nice to have the dual flash on there. We also have HD video capture on this, which gives you up to 720p. So other than that, yeah, just smooth unibody design, makes it, just gives it a really nice, cool, smooth look and feel. Okay, so it's starting up. Like I said, it was a 4.3-inch Super LCD screen. From first impression, it does look quite bright, but we'll see when it actually boots up, though. Okay, A few other notes about the Inspire 4G. Now when they talk 4G, they mean HSPA+, it's not LTE, but it is still technically 4G. So with this, the maximum that you can have on this is, the maximum speed that is 14.4 megabits a second down and 2 megabits per second up. Okay, there we are going into the main screen, or the main setup. Now it also has a 1 gigahertz Snapdragon processor, complete with 768 megs of RAM. Very fast in terms of just being a single core processor. That's perfectly fine as long as it goes fast, right? One of the first things I noticed here, going through the boot up process, is it's asking me to set up a Sense account. Now HTC Sense is the user interface that HTC prefers to use on pretty much all their devices. Of course with the exception of Windows Phone, but that's a different topic of conversation in and of itself. So, but with the original versions of HTC Sense that came out, it never actually required setting up an account. So going in here, it does require me to do that. So we're going to go in here and just create a new one. I'm back, so I have created my Sense account, and it says I'm connected, and it just asks me if I want to enable the phone finder. Yes, I do, because now it can track where my phone is if it's lost or stolen. So let's zoom back out here, and we go in. Okay, successfully signed up. Alright, now it's just going to ask me to set up some Google stuff. After a few minutes of getting everything set up, I am finally booted in to the Inspire 4G. As we can tell, we can see the usual stereotypical HTC Sense screen. Going in, seeing everything else they've got. Of course, we can also open up all the different screens to see them all at the same time. Except the difference is, now I can actually go in and move these screens around, which is something that's new to Sense. So, let's go in there, and you can tell now the mail is actually our home page. Kind of neat. Just looking through, see what the different notifications are. Now, a couple things that we're going to notice here, just right off the bat, is right here. Of course, this is one of the significances of the 4G network. We have it saying H+, of course standing for the HSPA+ network. And we're getting full bars of signal here. In a little while we'll do a speed test. I'm not sure if we'll get to it today, but definitely in time for the review we're going to see exactly how fast this thing can go. Now, just doing a little bit of basic looking around on the phone just to see some of the differences. One of the things that stands out to me, let's zoom in a little bit here, get a closer look. So when I go in and look at the app tray, one of the things that I notice is the Wi-Fi hotspot. So this is brand new to AT&T, very first phone that we've seen the Wi-Fi hotspot available on, and so we're very happy to see that. Now I've got some other stuff in here like transfer data, where, okay, yeah, this gives me the ability to transfer it over from my old phone. So we'll have to play around with that later on. So just looking through everything else though, live TV, HTC Hub, HTC Likes. So some of these are just some of the standard HTC stuff, but there's a few new things. AT&T's code scanner, interesting, and blocked callers. So we're definitely going to have the opportunity to play around with that. I'm quite interested to see what this is all about here. So where I can actually go and add people to my blocked call list just directly on the phone. Quite intriguing. A few other things that pop out to me. Since this is a refreshed version of Sense, it has a few enhancements. We are going to be seeing even a newer version of Sense come out at Mobile World Congress. But for right now, this offers a few enhancements. So when I press that button to show all my personalization options, in addition to having just the standard 4 here, you know, the typical widget app shortcut and folder that you would see on any Android, there's quite a few other things that I can do. So I can customize my scene. And again, this is nothing new with scenes. Scenes have been around with HTC for a long time, but they've never had this cover flow style look to it before. So I like having that. So I can just go in and hit apply and get all my social apps and everything set up the way I want. Okay, looking into it, I also have some abilities to change up my wallpaper. Same kind of deal though, same kind of same kind of deal as any other Android phone, except it has that cover flow. And I have no better way of putting it. I guess you could just liken it to a whole bunch of cards or whatever, but it just always reminds me of cover flow that you would see on the iPhone, so that's just what it ends up being talked up as. So there's also different notification changes that I can make. I can change up the alarm here just directly through the personalization. Just makes it a bit easier to deal with that way. So those are a few minutes with the Inspire 4G. Just to give some final first impressions that I had. I am loving the screen on here. It is a rather beautiful screen. 4.3 inch just makes it so nice to handle. And HTC always has their stuff together with the Sense user interface. It is my my personal favorite user interface out of all of them. And it looks like they've added some cool new things to it that I haven't seen before, some new enhancements. So I'm really excited to be able to play around with it. As far as the design itself goes, I really like the overall design. I just wish that the battery cover was a little bit easier to put on and take off and put on. But other than that, a very sleek and smooth design while still giving you a good solid feel while it's in your hand. Now, normally with me on, oh goodness, there we go. Normally with me on a 4.3 inch screen, that's a big phone, and generally if you have larger hands, it makes it a little bit easier to handle. On this one it's not so bad because they still keep it pretty thin. It's 12 millimeters thin, so still on a decent size. Certainly it could be a little bit lighter. It's just shy of 6 ounces, which frankly I've seen some slide out keyboards that are about the same weight. And so with that, I think that just helps make it feel more solid, certainly, but it would be nice to have it just a little bit lighter. The processor and the accompanying RAM help make for a good speedy performance. I just don't see any lagging whatsoever. So another thing that I'll be looking out for, and I'll be playing around with benchmarks and things like that just to see what the overall performance is. So, but overall I'm very impressed with what I see so far. Now with that said, just to give you a few details, it is currently on sale at AT&T. This one is $99, which is incredible when you think about it, because there are several other Android phones on AT&T's network that don't have the same kinds of specs that the Inspire 4G has right now. And those ones are typically more expensive. There are some, like the Motorola ones, the Bravo, the Flip Side. Those ones are less expensive, but for being a top-of-the-line Android device, the Inspire 4G is going to be a great and a very competitive option with good pricing. So with this unboxing, just stay tuned for the full review coming up in just a few days. I'm going to spend some good quality time with this device, and really excited about it, and hopefully you will be too. So join us on unwiredview.com and you'll get the full scoop.